Welcome back to the deep dive.
Okay, so we're heading into that time of year again. Temperatures are definitely climbing. And that brings us to a really crucial topic: heat-related illnesses, specifically in the workplace. And,
Hmm.
and look, this isn't just about feeling a bit uncomfortable. It's serious. Thousands of employees are affected every single year.
Yeah, thousands.
And sometimes, tragically, it can even be fatal.
Absolutely.
We often think of, construction sites under the blazing sun, but it's not just outdoors, is it? Indoor places can be risky too.
That's exactly right. And our goal here today in this deep dive is really to equip you, the listener, with the essential knowledge. You need to understand the dangers, yes, but more importantly, how to put effective protection strategies into practice.
Right.
Because honestly, when we talk about heat illness, prevention is, oh, it's everything. It's your best defense.
Okay, so heat's a big threat, clearly. But why does it seem to hit some people harder than others? What makes someone more vulnerable? Are there, hidden factors? Well, it's usually a mix of things. You've got the environment itself, personal factors, and your own health history.
Okay.
Environmentally, yeah, high temperatures, high humidity are big ones. Direct sun, obviously. But also indoor heat sources, think like big ovens or furnaces. And poor airflow, that makes a huge difference too.
Right. Stagnant air.
Exactly. Then there are personal things. Not drinking enough fluids is a major one. Dehydration. Pushing yourself really hard physically, heavy exertion. And wearing that heavy PCE, personal protective equipment, that can trap a lot of heat.
Oh,
And finally, your individual health. If you're not in great physical shape or have existing health conditions like heart problems, diabetes, certain medications can also increase risk. And then there's climatization or lack of it. Basically, if your body isn't used to the heat yet.
like coming back to work after a vacation.
Precisely. Or just the start of the hot season. Advanced stage, pregnancy, even having had a heat illness before, all these things can make you more susceptible.
You mentioned the heavy PPE, and that one always strikes me as interesting. Something designed to protect you,
Mm-hmm.
like a safety vest or, fire-resistant clothing, can actually increase your risk from heat. It feels a bit backwards.
It does seem counterintuitive, doesn't it? And that's where it gets really interesting, maybe a bit paradoxical, that gear is vital, say, against chemicals or impacts. But in the heat, it can essentially create a personal sauna. It traps your body heat, limits sweat evaporation.
So it makes it harder for your body to cool itself down naturally.
Exactly. So the real takeaway here isn't don't wear PPE, obviously, but it's about managing the heat while wearing it, recognizing that trade-off. And like you said, this connects to the bigger picture. These aren't just minor discomforts. They can build on each other, leading to really serious health problems. A dangerous cascade.
That cascade idea is powerful.
Yeah.
So, okay, that brings us to the practical side. What does this all mean for you listening right now in terms of actually staying safe on the job? Let's get into those prevention strategies.
Absolutely. Let's start with the absolute foundation: hydration. Constant hydration.
Drink water. Sounds simple.
It sounds simple, but here's the crucial bit. Don't wait until you feel thirsty.
Ah, okay.
By the time you feel thirst, you're already starting to get dehydrated. Your body's alarm is a bit delayed,
So be proactive.
Exactly. Proactive, scheduled sipping. Aim for about 1 cup, maybe every 15 to 20 minutes if you're doing moderate work in moderate heat. Small amounts, frequently.
And how do you know if you're getting enough?
Good question. A simple check is your urine. It should be clear or light colored. If it's dark yellow, you need more fluids.
Got it. What about what to drink? Just water?
Water is great. Isotonic sports drinks can be helpful too, especially if you're sweating a lot, to replace salts. But definitely avoid sugary drinks, sodas, coffee, alcohol.
Why those?
They can actually make dehydration worse. Caffeine and alcohol are diuretics.
Yeah.
And sugar can slow down water absorption.
Okay. And you mentioned salts.
Yeah, when you sweat heavily, you lose salts, electrolytes. So light meals, things like juices, fruits, veggies, salads, maybe adding a little extra salt to your food can help replenish those.
Makes sense. What else besides drinking?
Adjusting the work itself is key. If it's possible, try to agree on work schedules that avoid the absolute hottest part of the day, that peak heat. Maybe shift heavy tasks to the morning or later afternoon. And breaks. Frequent breaks are non-negotiable.
Where should you take those breaks?
Somewhere cool, shaded area, air-conditioned room or vehicle if possible. Rest, rehydrate.
Does using AC during breaks make you less tolerant to the heat later?
No, that's a common misconception. It actually helps your body recover more effectively so you can handle the heat better when you go back out.
Good to know. What about new workers or people coming back after time off?
Acclimatization, that's crucial. Your body needs time to adapt. So for the first week or so, gradually increase the workload and the time spent in the heat. Take more frequent breaks. Don't just jump into the toughest tasks on day one.
Right, ease into it. And clothing. Does that really matter?
Oh, absolutely. Wear light-colored, lightweight, loose-fitting clothes. Natural fibers like cotton tend to breathe better, protect your head, hat, cap, helmet liner perhaps. Sunglasses are important too, and sunscreen, of course. Apply it before you start work. Reapply as needed. Don't forget that.
Okay, hydration, schedule, breaks, clothes, acclimatization. Anything else?
Yes, monitoring yourself and your coworkers. This is huge. Learn the signs and symptoms of heat illness. We'll get into those in a sec.
Okay.
Set up a buddy system, maybe check in on each other, make sure everyone's drinking water, using the shade. And have an emergency plan ready. Know what to do if someone does show signs of heat illness, who to call, where to go.
So being prepared before it happens.
Exactly. And one more tip, if you're feeling really hot, wet your skin, use a damp cloth on your head, neck, face, or even soak your shirt. And don't dry off immediately, let that water evaporate. That's your body's natural cooling mechanism.
Like personal air conditioning?
Kinda, yeah. Also, check the weather forecast for heat waves. Avoid huge, heavy meals right before or during heavy work, and the heat digestion generates heat. And never, ever stay in a parked car without AC, especially in the sun. Temperatures inside can skyrocket incredibly fast.
Right. And if someone has health issues?
Talk to your doctor. If you have chronic conditions or take regular medication, ask if you need special precautions in the heat. Look, all these steps, they aren't just, suggestions. They're your vital defense line. They stop your body from hitting that dangerous tipping point.
Okay, so we know how to prevent it. But prevention isn't always 100%. We need to know what to look for.
Yeah.
The warning signs. You mentioned recognizing symptoms is critical for quick treatment.
Absolutely critical. Early recognition can stop things from escalating into something much worse, even life-threatening.
So what are we looking for? What are the symptoms?
Think of it like a spectrum from milder issues to full-blown emergencies. The most common, often the first sign, is heat rash, prickly heat. Little red bumps or blisters, usually where clothing rubs or skin folds neck, chest, groin. Annoying, but usually not dangerous itself.
Okay, heat rash. What's next?
Heat cramps. These are painful muscle spasms, often in your legs, arms, or abdomen. It's basically your muscles protesting from losing too much salt and fluid through sweat.
Painful, but manageable.
Usually, yes, but it's a warning sign. Then you can get syncope, which is fainting or feeling like you're about to faint, dizziness, blurred vision, maybe losing balance. That happens because not enough blood, oxygen, and glucose are getting to your brain, often due to the heat. If you don't cool down, this can progress.
Okay, getting more serious.
Definitely. Next up is heat exhaustion. This is your body really struggling to cope. It's shouting for help.
What does that look like?
It's often a combination of things. Intense thirst, headache, often a throbbing one, dizziness, extreme fatigue, maybe feeling irritable. You'll likely be sweating profusely, but your skin might feel cool and clammy. Your pulse might be rapid but weak, maybe nausea, muscle weakness, sometimes fast breathing, hyperventilation, low blood pressure, hypotension can occur too.
So lots of sweating, feeling awful, weak pulse.
Pretty much sums it up. It's serious, needs immediate attention to cool the person down and rehydrate. But the most severe...
Heat stroke.
Yes, heat stroke. This is a life-threatening medical emergency. Your body's cooling system has failed completely. Your core temperature shoots up, usually above 40.5 Celsius. That's about 105 Fahrenheit.
And the symptoms. How are they different from heat exhaustion?
They're often dramatically different. Confusion is a big one. Altered mental state, maybe slurred speech, loss of consciousness, seizures can happen, very high body temperature, obviously. And here's a key difference. The skin is often hot and dry because sweating may have stopped. Though sometimes, confusingly, someone with heat stroke can still be sweating heavily.
Okay, so hot skin, maybe dry, confusion, loss of consciousness.
Right. And the pulse is usually rapid and strong, unlike the weak pulse in heat exhaustion. Plus, that throbbing headache is common here, too.
Wow. That difference between exhaustion and stroke seems absolutely vital to recognize. Because stroke needs immediate, urgent medical help. No delay.
Absolutely. No delay whatsoever. Understanding that distinction and acting fast can literally save a life. Minutes count.
Okay, so let's say you see someone showing these signs, or maybe you feel them yourself. What do you do? What's the immediate action, the first aid?
Right. Let's run through it. For heat rash, the simplest one. Get to a cooler, drier place. Keep the area dry, maybe use some powder to soothe it. Don't use creams or ointments that can block pores.
Okay. Heat cramps.
Stop activity. Rest in a cool place. Drink water or an electrolyte beverage. Gently stretch the cramping muscle. Don't take salt tablets, they can cause problems. If the cramps don't stop within an hour, or if the person has heart issues or is on a low-sodium diet, get medical help.
Got it. Now, heat exhaustion or that fainting feeling, syncope.
Okay, this is serious. Move the person immediately to a cool place, shade, AC, whatever's available. Lay them down, slightly elevate their legs and feet.
Okay, lie down, feet up.
Loosen or remove unnecessary clothing. Shoes, socks, tight belts. Cool them down actively. Use cool, wet cloths or sponges on their skin. Cold packs on the head, neck, armpits, groin if you have them, fan them. If they're conscious, alert, and not nauseous, give small sips of cool water slowly.
Yeah, slowly.
Yes, don't let them gulp it. If their symptoms improve quickly with cooling and rest, they should probably stop work for the day and recover fully. But if they don't improve, if they get worse, if they can't keep water down, or if they lose consciousness, you need to treat it like an emergency. Call for medical help.
Okay, and the big one. Heat stroke.
Heat stroke. Call 911 immediately. This is number one. Don't hesitate.
Right. 911 first.
Yeah.
Then what?
While you're waiting for emergency services, do everything you can to cool the person down aggressively. Move them to the coolest possible place. Remove outer clothing. Immerse them in cool water if possible, like a tub or shower. If not, douse them with cool water. Use wet towels, ice packs all over the body, head, neck, torso, limbs. Fan them vigorously to increase evaporation. Keep cooling them until help arrives.
Stay with them.
Absolutely. Someone needs to stay with them the entire time. And critically, do not try to give liquids to someone who is unconscious or confused. They could choke.
Wow, okay. That aggressive cooling for heat stroke sounds intense, but necessary.
It is. You're fighting to lower their core body temperature as quickly as possible. And this really highlights that point, doesn't it? How crucial is understanding these differences to give the right first aid?
Incredibly crucial. Life or death crucial, it sounds like. Which, brings up the responsibility aspect. It's not just on the individual worker, is it? What about employers? What's their role here?
Employers have a very clear legal and moral obligation to protect their workers from heat hazards. This isn't optional. They need to implement preventative measures. That includes providing cool, readily available drinking water, not just having a tap somewhere, but making it accessible.
Okay.
They need to ensure workers can take rest breaks in cool areas. And they must provide training on the risks, the prevention methods, the symptoms, the first aid procedures we've just talked about.
So water, breaks, training.
At a minimum, yes. And scheduling work to minimize heat exposure where possible, implementing acclimatization plans, basically creating a work environment where these prevention strategies are built in. And just so you know, non-compliance isn't just bad practice. It can have serious legal and financial consequences for the employer.
Right. It's a shared responsibility, but the employer has to provide the framework for safety.
Exactly.
Well, this has been incredibly informative, a really thorough deep dive. As we wrap up, the big takeaway for me is just how preventable most of this is if we take the right steps. We talked about the risks, the factors that make people vulnerable, those detailed prevention steps, hydration, clothing, schedule, monitoring, and then recognizing the signs from rash all the way to stroke, and knowing what immediate action to take. The core message seems crystal clear. Prevention really is key. Take care of yourself out there, drink that water, wear the right gear, take those breaks, and, just as importantly, look out for your coworkers. Know the signs, know the first aid steps, and please don't ever hesitate to get medical help if you suspect heat exhaustion or especially heat stroke.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to take away is this. Now that you have this knowledge, how can you use it? How can you become that proactive advocate for safety, not just protecting yourself, but helping protect everyone you work with?
That's a great question to ponder, because ultimately your safety and the safety of the people around you, that has to be the top priority.